Pull up a map. Because what I'm about to show you might completely help you decide whether you want to live in coastal North Carolina or not. Sneads Ferry looks small, but when you break it down on a map, you start to realize just how strategic this location is. So we're talking about minutes to the beach, direct access to good old Camp Lejeune or Stone Bay, if that's what you need, hidden waterfront communities, and some of the fastest growing neighborhoods anywhere in eastern North Carolina. But here's the thing, if you don't understand how this area is laid out, you could end up picking the wrong neighborhood, perhaps paying more than you should in HOA dues, and maybe, just maybe, having a commute time that's a little too long. So in this video, I'm going to give you a full map tour of Sneads Ferry, North Carolina. I want to show you some of the best subdivisions, some of my favorite local restaurants, a few of the historical sites, as well as military access points to include MARSOC at Stone Bay, obviously the back gate, and hidden pockets that most people don't even realize exist. Hey, my name is Stephen L. Skakandy. I'm with the Skakandy Group of living in and around Jacksonville, North Carolina, and I help people just like you every day sell, buy, or invest in real estate. So whether you're looking in 9 days, 9 weeks, or 9 months, we can get you squared away. So why don't you join us on this little tour? And if you're thinking about relocating, make sure you like, click, and subscribe on our link below, living in and around Jacksonville, North Carolina, because this channel is built to help you win in this market or any market when you move here. So let's talk about where Sneads Ferry sits on the map right here. So yes, we can see that it's right along the New River, okay? Right here, okay? And you've also got the Intracoastal Waterway, which up until the mid 1800s was a primary north-south route, okay? Up and down the coast. It's also close to Jacksonville. I'm gonna zoom out here and show you. Jacksonville is this area right up here. You've also got North Topsail Beach, which is across the bridge. Here's North Topsail Beach. Here's Surf City. And finally here is Topsail Beach on the south end of the island. The island's just over 25 miles long, okay? And you're about 45 minutes to Wilmington. So if we continue down Highway 17 right here, we find Wilmington right here. The ever-growing Wilmington gets larger and larger all the time. So this location means absolutely everything for the area. So it's important to understand how important this place is and where it is located in conjunction with everything locally. So let's talk about highway access and the layout of Sneads Ferry. What you've got here is Highway 172. Highway 172 actually goes through the base, comes out the back gate, and it continues on until it reaches Highway 17. Highway 210, on the other hand, starts at Highway 17, and then it travels kind of southeast to southwest, and then it stops at the island and goes across the island. So those are the two main thoroughfares. Now, everything connects into those roads, all right? These roads connect you directly into Camp Lejeune, North Topsail Beach and Surf City, as well as Jacksonville. The only problem is, this is also where the traffic bottlenecks happen, because these roads are one lane one way on Highway 210 and one lane the other way. Or in the case of 172, part of it is 2 lanes one way and 2 lanes the other way. Moral to the story is, certain times of the year, it gets rough. So as I do this video right now, the weather's getting warmer and the tourists are starting to show up. So certainly on check-in and check-out days, which are typically Saturday and Sunday, you'll notice more traffic in the mornings. So make sure you plan to to take a little bit more time to get from point A to point B. Also, too, Food Lion is highly trafficked on Friday nights. So you might want to have all your shopping done by Thursday afternoon and then not frequent the store again until Monday or Tuesday, because it is a madhouse getting in and out of there. Great for Food Lion, maybe not so great for you. Something to think about. Now let's talk about the Camp Lejeune back gate access, because this is huge for military families that live in Sneads Ferry. Right here is where the back gate is located, just over the bridge on the other side, on the mainland right here. So if you are coming from this area, it's all very closely located. And some of the neighborhoods, you're literally 5 to 10 minutes away. Super easy and simple to get to. So that's one of the biggest reasons for the explosive growth in Sneads Ferry. There was once upon a time when getting through the main gate to Camp Lejeune was horribly inefficient and took a long period of time. And that was one of the first things that fueled the growth. That and the prices of being this close to the water were the two big factors that fueled that growth. We've covered the back gate into Camp Lejeune. Let's talk about Stone Bay access. So Stone Bay, where MARSOC is located, is just off of Highway 210, more or less in between the access with Highway 17 and the access with 172, the Four Corner access. Now, with this, okay, if you're stationed here, Sneads Ferry is one of the best places you can live. Having said that, there are certain times when everybody reports and everybody leaves. And therefore, you have to do some research with who you're basically taking over for. And in your turnover brief, find out the best times when you can hit that gate. For security purposes, I'm not going to repeat them over here, but moral to the story is there are more ideal times to hit that gate versus the alternative. And I want to make you aware of it, and it's something for you to plan for, so you're not just sitting in line. Having said that, there's a wonderful thing with podcasts and knowledge and things like that that you can do as you wait in line, but that is a concern. Just letting you know. Now, as we go along this map, let's go ahead and follow 210 across the bridge to North Topsail Beach and talk about North Topsail Beach access. So you'll hit it in roughly 5 to 10 minutes from the Four Corners, which the Four Corners is the intersection of 172 and 210 right here. Okay, from there on North Topsail, you have public beach access, you have fishing, and you have boating. You will have to pay for beach access. There is one place in North Topsail that offers free parking. However, those spots fill up usually pretty fast. It is pay to park, and you can use the app, download the app for your smartphone in order to pay and go ahead and park. Some people are upset with that, but everybody's using the beach. Erosion's a real problem. Beach nourishment is something we have to pay for. So therefore, everybody can share, if you use the beach, this burden, so to speak, to keep the beaches nice, not just for us right now, but for our future. Now let's talk about the historic roots of Sneads Ferry. Back in 1728, Edmund Ennett operated the first ferry that went across the New River. However, the place isn't named after him. It's actually named after Robert Sneed. And there's some diverging theories on how that happened, but it was around 1750 that he operated another ferry in the area and ran a tavern. And then the area became known for that. And this was an important route because it was in between Suffolk, Virginia, and Charleston, South Carolina, which were two major ports in the South that were very necessary to get goods and services from the old world into the new. 1728, as you remember, and 1750 is before the American Revolution. So this goes back when we were subjects of the crown. What's the deal with Sneads Ferry today? Well, it's still known for shrimping, and seafood. So some things have never changed. Every year in the fall, Sneads Ferry hosts the Sneads Ferry Shrimp Festival. There we've got great local seafood, community, and coastal culture. We even have the Queen of the Shrimp Festival, which is a great event along with a parade that goes up and down Old Piru Road in the historic section of Sneads Ferry. And it's definitely something you don't want to miss. It also includes such things as live bands and great music and fun for the whole family. It is a family-friendly event and one that you'll definitely make great memories and treasure for years to come after attending. And as I said, this is something that happens every year at the Shrimp Festival location just off of Old Piru Road in Sneads Ferry. Now we're going to cover some popular waterfront communities. This is not an exhaustive list, but these are just a few of my favorites. And we're going to go into more detail about this in a later video when we compare neighborhoods out here. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Okay, so let's go to those neighborhoods right now. First one I'd like to bring up is a community in Sneads Ferry called Chadwick Shores. Chadwick Shores was started late 70s, early 80s, and believe it or not, they're still building out there. It's right here off Chadwick Acres Road. It is a waterfront community. You've got Chadwick Bay right here. And it features such things as boat access, water views, particularly for the houses that are on the outside of this perimeter. And they have higher price points. Now, this is a really neat community because this was built with houses from the early 80s, but they are still building some new houses out there today as there's some lots left over. So it's a great community for you. It's a great mix of old and new. Okay. Next one I'd like to turn your attention to out here is Mimosa Bay. Now, Mimosa Bay is one of the newer communities, and it's located off of Old Folkestone Road and not too far from the mini Four Corners, which is where Old Folkestone and Highway 210 meet. Okay. You also, at the end here, have a local Food Lion and then a advanced auto parts store and places like that. It's all right here. Mimosa Bay was built by a developer, RA North. And it came online in the early 2010 timeframe, 2014 timeframe. Very large houses on smaller lots. But again, you've got some water access here. It's a gated community. It also has a really nice clubhouse with a pool. Fun for the whole family. So Mimosa Bay won't lead you wrong. You definitely enjoy that. Another one that people rave about is the North Shore Country Club subdivision. And North Shore also features older community, not as new as Mimosa Bay, but not quite as old as Chadwick Shores. This features a golf course. So if you're into a golf community and you still want to be by the water, this is a great place to go. Plus, it also features its own hotel there on site, the Blue Water Inn and Suites. So again, if you have people coming in from out of town, you don't have to put them up in your house. You can actually put them up at the hotel and make them go to the golf course. 3 great options for you, all of a higher price point. However, I don't want my people that do not like HOAs and subdivisions to feel left out, because we have plenty of homes that are in neither HOAs or in no subdivisions. We have a little bit more free will. Okay, those are also an opportunity for you in Sneads Ferry. Now let's talk about some new construction hotspots in Sneads Ferry that I think you might like if you're interested in going the new construction route. First one I'd like to bring up is Permeta Branch or Permeta Branch. It's off of Old Folkestone Road. It's kind of across the street from Mimosa Bay, and it's a nice little community just tucked away back here. And you've got some spots available where some great new houses built by Cavanis and Cates. So they've been doing quite a bit in the area. I think you'd like what they have to offer. Another place I would like to point out is the Citadel at South Point, which if we go back up to Highway 172, it's over here along the back gate. Oop. Here we go. I'll bring you right in here on the map so you can see it good. So this is a community where they're still heavily building out there. Builders got some great incentives. It's Mungo Homes, typically a Wilmington home builder, but they've come into the area and they've done great things out here. Made a lot of my clients very happy with their floor plans and with their community. And finally, I'd like to go back to an old standby. The Preserve at Tidewater. The Preserve at Tidewater is just off of Chadwick Acres Road, which is just off Old Folkestone Road. Again, great newer community, very close to Chadwick Shores, which I went over a little bit earlier. Newer homes, they've got a pool and a clubhouse and a great little community where a lot of people are very happy in there. Thing I like about them the best is they really know how to party when it comes to Halloween. They do decorations, everybody gets in the spirit. They've really come together and create a great environment for the children of the community to go trick-or-treating, and they really get into it and do a fantastic job. So the community feel in the Preserve at Tidewater, definitely where everybody's in lockstep, is really a thing of great beauty. And I think that if you choose the Preserve at Tidewater, you'd really enjoy that aspect of it. Now I want to cover something I think you'll all very much be interested in, and I'm talking about some restaurants in Sneads Ferry. We've got some new ones, some old favorites, and I want to just bring a few to your attention real quick and where they're located so it makes a little more sense for you. First one I'd like to bring to your attention is one that's very near and dear to me, and it's one of the original restaurants in the area. It's called the Riverview Cafe. Okay, Riverview Cafe is located right here in Fulcher's Landing. It was flooded out and demolished during Hurricane Florence, but it's back and it's good to go again. So to get here, you would come down Highway 172, then turn down Sneads Ferry Road. It turns into Piru Road, and then make a left on Fulcher Landing Road and continue on until you get to the water. This is also the location of a boatel, for lack of a better term, a structure where you can store your boat and keep it ready to go. And then they've got a special forklift that comes and gets it for you. But the Riverview Cafe offers great seafood and local fare, and you'll hear stories from the locals about Sneads Ferry through the years. Absolutely phenomenal place. The next place is, if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, you'll know where I'm going with this, because this is a Pittsburgh Steelers bar, but it's called Rick's Cafe. Rick's Cafe is immediately on, or 210, excuse me, on the way to the water. So Four Corners was just up this way. You come down, you've got Rick's Cafe. Rick's Cafe, great bar, great food. And in the back, they opened up the new Topsail Island brewing station. And this place is great, particularly as we get into the warmer months of the year, because at Topsail Island Brewing, you get to do such things as it's got a dog park, it's got outdoor seating, it's got a beautiful fountain and pond that you can sit by, and the kids can feed the ducks with bread. It's a really neat place. And again, it's fun for the whole family. Really enjoy that. And they have a rotating tap with the brewmeister that creates new beers from time to time. So you get to partake in them and taste them. Now, if you're looking for other food that's maybe a little bit more ethnic, you got Agave Azul, which is a modern Mexican restaurant and cantina. This also is right on Highway 210. And this place has some amazing Mexican food. Where would we be without our tacos and everything else? So once you get past the Four Corners and you're moving down to the mini Four Corners, it's on your left-hand side, okay? Over here, there's a bunch of new restaurants that have opened to include a Japanese restaurant, a Jersey Mike Subs, a wings place. So there's definitely great opportunities there. One other place I'd like to make mention of is a really nice local burger hangout, and that is it's in this restaurant area. Okay, All American Burger. Okay, love All American Burger. Local place, great burgers. And I know I said one more, but I wanted to make mention of the new Italian restaurant that's now available. I'm talking about Spaggia's. Spaggia's. I think that's how you say it. But if you want a great plate of lasagna, this is the place to go. My kids were captivated by the calamari, which is they serve as an appetizer. So definitely want to check that place out. So what we have in Sneads Ferry now is a great mix of old and new. So depending on what you're looking for, you can find a few different neat places. Hey, I'm just being real here. When we talk about such things as shopping and essentials, you could pull out the old Sears and Roebuck catalog, or perhaps use your Amazon Prime if you're a little more progressive. But shopping is just limited. It is what it is, right? Living in paradise comes with a price. To kind of put an exclamation point on that, if we go and we look back at Food Lion, where is Food Lion located? Well, Food Lion's at the mini Four Corners, the intersection of 210 and Old Folkestone Road. And I don't recommend going there anytime after Thursday night until probably Monday afternoon or Tuesday morning, because, hey, everybody's coming in. Certainly when the weather gets warmer, there's certain times of year when you have a lot of tourists, everybody's at Food Line because that's the place to go. So if you want to avoid those crowds, you're going to have to drive up the road to Jacksonville or down the road to Surf City. But remember, because of tourists, the Surf City area is going to be crowded as well. Now, we do have further down 210 or further up 210 closer to Highway 17. We do have a Publix coming in, but that's not ready yet, okay? And that's not going to be ready for quite some time, okay? So those are kind of your options. So for major retail, I think you want to go to Jacksonville or perhaps drive on Wilmington. We have enough here to kind of keep this community going. But when we're overrun with tourists during the hot part of the season, be ready to wait in line to get what you need. It just comes with the territory. Okay, let's talk about schools real quick and some options there. And we're going to focus on the public schools and what's available in the area in terms of public schools. So we're going to start out with the elementary school and show you where that is. Then we'll go through the middle school and of course the high school and talk you through all of that. All right, so first and foremost, we have Dixon Elementary School. Dixon is located off of Highway 210. And you make a right on or left onto Bradshaw, depending on the direction you're coming from. Highway 17's up this way, and Four Corners is down this way. Dixon Elementary is a newer school, okay? And at certain times of the day, traffic gets really bad on 210 for the school. Kids get in and out between buses, parents picking up their child, that type of thing. So this is the Grantwood subdivision over here. Another nice community that's quiet, that's tucked away. Houses are not bought and sold as frequently out there, but that's a really good place if you want to, say, have a situation where your child can actually walk to school. That's a great one right there. Now, Dixon Middle School, on the other hand, this school is brand new. and it was built just a few short years ago. Okay, this is further down Highway 210 on the way to the beach. You make a right, and it's behind the Italian restaurant I told you about earlier, All American Burger, and it's back that way. So, of course, the high school or the middle school, excuse me, is 6th, 7th, and 8th grade that you can get there. Again, certain times of the day, highly trafficked area right here, and there'll be some traffic as parents pick up and drop off their kids and school buses go through. So be on the lookout for that. Okay. Now, Dixon High School is where it's always been. Off of Highway 17. It's got the track, the football field there, and of course, Friday night lights. Great time to be there and be checking things out. And of course, this is your 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grades. So again, certain times of the day, be prepared for the traffic of school buses. And of course, by the time you get to Dixon High School, student drivers. So you might want to up your insurance or stay off the road. Let's go ahead and take a minute and discuss something that is very important to people nowadays. Certainly, it became more so and reminded people of the force of Mother Nature in October of 2018. Of course, I'm talking about Hurricane Florence. Okay, and then more recently, just a few short years ago, we had a situation in Western North Carolina with a hurricane that flooded an area that never flooded before. So let's talk real quick about flood zones and geography. And what I recommend that folks always do is go to the FEMA maps. Okay, FEMA has a flood map service center. And if you Google that online, it's like msc.fema.gov. You can put in addresses and look. So just to kind of orient you and give you an idea of what you're looking at, this is the four corners of Sneads Ferry. This is Highway 210. This is 172. Base is up here, so on and so forth. And as you scroll around the map, you can see, hey, this is a zone AE, for example. Okay, AE, you're going to need some flood insurance. Okay, if we scroll down here, we talked a little earlier about Chadwick Shores. So you can see here's Chadwick Shores, right? So part of that area, if you follow the legend down here, it tells you what that area is zoned and how likely it is to flood. Okay, so again, you want to plan for this ahead of time because we have situations where we're close to the ocean and flood insurance could be very little or it could be a lot. And in areas that are high risk, there is a such thing as grandfathering it in. So it's possible that you could be grandfathered in by simply transferring the current rate that the seller is paying, and you essentially take over that plan. But again, it's important you look at this up front and we have a good discussion on, hey, what does flood zone VE mean? What does AE mean? How is this different? What is it going to cost you? So on and so forth. As you take into consideration what monthly payment you're looking to have. When we talk about monthly payments, we talk about principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. And when we talk about insurance, it could be very little or it could be very much, depending. And the interesting thing, as you can kind of see on this map, your neighbor might have no flood insurance, but you, on the other hand, could be in a VE or AE zone, and your insurance could be significantly higher. All things to keep under consideration. Here's something that's also very interesting. I covered some great subdivisions, but they were new construction for the most part. I mean, Chadwick Shores is mixed, where you have older and newer together, okay? And I covered HOAs and some other things. And if you want new construction, more likely than not, you're going to be in a community that has an HOA. Maybe the lots are a little smaller, but you get some things for that. You get a clubhouse or a pool or something of that nature. But what I'm going to mention right now is the good news is there are communities of older homes that don't have an HOA, they don't have a subdivision. That's still possible to find. And some of these homes have been modernized and upgraded and updated so they don't look and feel like homes from the 70s or 80s or perhaps even older. So depending on what you're looking for, it can be found. But everything in real estate is a trade-off. And I talk about this all the time. And my longtime clients know this. The old high school chemistry class with the bell curve, everybody on that test got, below a 40. The smart kid got a 40 and everybody else got like a 30 or a 15. And then the teacher went ahead and put it on a bell curve. So the 40 became 100 and everybody's grade followed suit. I say all that to say real estate is a game of trade-offs and choices. So I don't care who you are and what your level of resources is, everybody has to make decisions that benefit them to the best of their ability. And in some cases, you have wants and needs that can't be found at a certain price point or in a certain area. So then you have to go through the process of deciding, hey, these are my non-negotiables and these things are not as important. And that's what I'm talking about here. So if you're concerned that, gosh, I got to live in a subdivision and I don't want to, and I don't want to live in an HOA either, there are other possibilities and they are out there and I can help you find them. But just know that if we do that, there are some trade-offs you have to make, and the right answer is going to come down to, hey, what you're looking for at the end of the day. Let's talk about the commute to Jacksonville and the commute to Wilmington from Sneads Ferry. And I got to tell you, just like in economics, my favorite answer is it depends. The commute depends as well. And let me show you why. Okay, from Sneads Ferry, we get to Highway 17, and you're probably looking at roughly 25 minutes to Jacksonville, at least the outer limits, okay? And then from Wilmington, you're looking at 45 minutes. I say about and around for the simple fact that it depends so much on when you decide to leave. If you're leaving during work traffic hours or when kids are getting dropped off at school and you get trapped behind a bus on 2-lane roads, it can really vary. And let's not forget, as we get into the warmer months, when we have people visiting and tourist season is upon us, and people are checking in and checking out on Saturdays and Sundays, you might find that those times vary by quite a bit. I've had situations where it's taking me over an hour and a half to get to Wilmington. So almost an hour's worth of commute times because of when I chose to go. Now, I should have varied my time, that's on me, but I think you get the idea that it's highly variable based on the time of year that you're going. We've covered so much ground today, and I think the question is, why are so many people moving here? What's the point? Well, I really feel like everything changed once the pandemic happened in 2020, and people looked long and hard because remote working, they could live and work pretty much anywhere. And they were originally attracted to us, I think, for our prices when they went to the almighty Google and they happened to locate us. But I think it's evolved into something more than that. I really feel like, the whole salt life thing, the coastal lifestyle, and just the emotion of the ocean is the term that's used, and easy access to the beach and just being near the water has really brought people in. Military access, I think, is super important for the Marines and sailors, and the bases have grown between the rise of MARSOC and the importance of our sea service forces, the Marine Corps and the Navy that's stationed here. And let's not forget our brethren in the Coast Guard, which Jacksonville and Camp Lejeune have 3 Coast Guard bases just on Camp Lejeune itself. And that's not including such places as Emerald Isle or Wilmington. There's stations down there as well. So can't overlook the Coast Guard and what they bring to the fight. And then, of course, there's the idea of lower taxes. Now, we have people that are moving here that think this thing called incorporation is a great idea, where essentially we will then have a city council for Sneads Ferry, we will have a city manager and a building. But the reality is, we don't need such curiosities here. We can certainly handle things on our own, and paying taxes to Onslow County and having the Onslow County commissioners certainly suffices. Thank you very much. And then, of course, just the growth potential as there is more available land here and more great opportunities between the service industry, the military, and of course, such staples as farming and fishing. So for all those reasons, this is just a great little area close to the water, and it's got a lot to offer, both in the land, the people, and the opportunities, such as the resources of the area. So once all is said and done, who is Sneads Ferry perfect for? I would say there's really three categories of people that this place is ideal for. The first one is military families, obviously. And those are people that are forced to come here, whether they want to or not, because orders of the Marine Corps or the Navy take precedence over all else. So I think for those people, you've got a great situation, because I've got to tell you, being former active duty Marine Corps myself, there are some very unfortunate places that you can be sent, and this ain't it right here. Sneads Ferry is both a great place to live and work. It's a great place to raise a family. And we talked a little bit earlier about the emotion of the ocean, and there's a lot of truth to that. So after a hard day, coming across that bridge to go home and seeing the water, it does something to you, and it has definitely a positive and long-lasting effect. And that transitions into the next group of people that would really like it here. And those are people that naturally love the beach. They appreciate the sand, the surf, the sound, the life that lives in the water, the aquatic life, the sea turtles, and everything else that we've had going on here. And it's a great little ecosystem of things coming and going. And there's no denying the importance of that. A third group of people that would really like it are those remote workers, because those are the people that can literally set up a desk in front of the ocean and be watching that all day while they type, or they're on their phone, or they do whatever they do for their remote working. So I think those three people are predisposed to the greatness of Sneads Ferry and what we have going on here. Look, maps don't lie, okay? And if you understand the map and all the things that go with it, from terrain association and relief to flood zones and to everything else in between, especially where things are located, I believe you can make a much better decision on where you want to live. But if you don't, you could wind up in the wrong spot, and it could cost you valuable time or money, or perhaps even paying too much. So that's exactly where a powerful agent like me comes in to help you, okay? And I help people like you every day buy, sell, and invest in areas just like Sneads Ferry, as well as greater Onslow County. And whether it be 9 days, 9 weeks, or 9 months, I'm here to help you get squared away. So feel free to call or text me at 910-920-7434. Email me at Stephen, that's Stephen with a PH now, at skakandygroup.com, or visit me at www.skakandygroup.com. And of course, make sure you like, click, and smash that subscribe button to Living in and Around Jacksonville, North Carolina, where every week new videos drop where we cover such things as neighborhoods and best places to live, map breakdowns such as this one, cost of living, and of course, what you can get for various price ranges. And there's even some really great and exciting wildcard videos that have to do with real estate as well. So if you like what you see, be sure to do all those things and share this with a friend or a buddy that you know is coming to good old Camp Lejeune area, or even if you're a civilian, you're coming to the Sneads Ferry or Jacksonville area, and we'll be sure to help you out. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will definitely see you in the next video. In the meantime, stay motivated. We'll talk to you all later. Bye now.